Alter your own clothes and save a bundle. Here's how. I'm going to shorten the bottom of this tux jacket. It's just too long, this tux jacket. But how am I going to deal with the curve of the jacket front? I'm going to show you how. Here I am at the back, and I'm glad to see there are no vents. That means it'll be an easy straight shot, marking off the 2.5 inches I need to mark off. Now I'll mark off 2.5 inches from the lining. Next, release the lining from the coat all the way to the edge. Here's the new fold line then. I drew a cutting line about 1.25 inches out, which is more than the original hem was. I just like to cut a little more generously. So here I am at the front right, and I pretty much stopped drawing my 2.5 inches in, flush with the edge of the pocket. That's because I'm going to take and fold the jacket in on itself and line up the edge of the left front up to the edge here along the chalk line, like so. See how this matches? Here we are a little closer up. I have laid the two fronts together, having matched the bottom of one front to the chalk line and to the very edge. That's because, see here? That's because I'm now going to trace this line with the chalk all the way around this curve. Sometimes it's wise to pin the two jacket sides to each other while you do this. For the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to take the chalk and trace the edge here, disappearing right about there. Here's a look even closer up, and you can see how I just kind of went and perfected the line. Now we do the same thing on the other side. See where the line ends right about here, which is flush with the pocket. Get the edges all straight here and trace. Compare your fronts and perfect them as necessary. Next, go ahead and detach the lining here from the facing a little ways up beyond the new fold line. Next, we want to sew this curve, so we turn inside out, and this is what it looks like on the inside with its pressed on interfacing. But there's no stitch line to follow, so what do? Next, we'll get this chalk line transferred to the underside, and how do we do that? We do that by making a pin line very carefully, just through the one thickness. Like so, and then turn that wrong side out, awkward as it is, and now there's a pin line to follow. And mark from pin line to pin line. So press hard so it shows. And then I'll take the pins out and connect the dots. Connecting dots. Take a ruler if it's better for you. Chalk heavily until it's well seen. One more detail before sewing this line that I've now pinned, and that is we want to sew all the way through the facing. So feel where that is, and if your chalk mark didn't quite go all the way up there, mark it so you know where it does end. And go to the machine now. Well, as you can imagine, this is the hardest part of the whole task, and I think I came out really well. I sewed from this side, from up here to ending by the facing, the very end of the facing, and I do mean the very end, okay, which does match up perfectly with the line I drew for the back and the sides, the new fold line. So now I need to be brave and trim. When I trim, I won't be trimming from the edge of the line here. No, I'll actually be trimming from right about here on through. We want to make sure we copy exactly how the manufacturer has done it. Need to have a little excess here, and actually I'm just going to cut right up here and continue on. I guess I'll quit talking about it and show you. So making sure everything is out of the way underneath. Just be brave. And cut in. Let's turn that right side out and see what we've got. A little awkward and rough looking yet, but nothing a good press won't fix. Yeah. Looks good. Before doing the other side, I think I'll take a little break from that action and figure out how deep do I want my hem to be. Well, I should probably copy about what the manufacturer did. That seems to be 1.5 inches, so right. Let's figure a 1.5 inch line out. Okay, from the front side, look how nicely the new curve has shaped up. And from the wrong side, I did start to press up the new hemline. You can see that I'm going to need to reinforce all the seams that I just cut through, because they're going to come up part if I don't. I haven't done so on the lining yet, but need to, and I haven't pressed that new line yet. Just kind of want to show you what it's looking like from underneath. This is a pocket hanging down. There is this little extra piece of material you can get rid of now. Just right across, cut it off. Essentially, this is how it's all going to shape up once the lining is pressed under, brought sharply into place at the edge of the facing. We're starting to get somewhere. I am going to be the first to admit that it's not always easy to get the two sides matching each other. I did struggle with one side a little more than the other so that they started to look like each other. Just remember, it's going to be buttoned, so there's going to be some overlap, and that's going to forgive any error. So nitpicky as you may be, as I am, just allow yourself to come really close as long as it's even on the bottom and it mostly resembles each other. The sides do. Once it's buttoned, look. See how good that looks? So, forgive yourself if it's not exactly perfect. It's more perfect than you realize. Press up the jacket and lining fold lines. All trimmed, I figured out where my stitch line is going to be. Now I'm going to put it all together. Pin the lining, similar to this, and the rest is hand sewing, taking great care right here at the junction of the facing and the lining extension here. So we'll start by hand right about here, zip all the way across, get to the other side. Again, take great care down here and zip up. All hemmed and all done. Good job.